Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Let's do a quick collective reading. I haven't done one in a little bit of time, so I want to see the general energy for the collective in general and those watching this reading. Let's dive on in. They're guiding me towards this oracle card, messages for the collective watching this reading, and the collective energy harvest. Moon. We are approaching a Capricorn full moon, so that's interesting. I think that's next week. So there could be almost kind of like an ending or culmination energy, or like a karmic cycle almost wrapping up, or something like that, because that's what Capricorn can rule. We could have a new sense of our like emotional well-being or boundaries as well at this time, just because that new moon in Cancer really highlighted with Jupiter in Cancer, new cycle we're beginning in, kind of protecting and nurturing ourselves. Cancer is a very protective sign, right? So it's kind of the same axis of Capricorn. We always have a new moon and a full moon on the same axis, I believe. But yeah, realigning with the soul, time for a slower pace and self-care. I mean, Capricorn definitely is slow but steady wins the race. Saturn rules that, right? We have Saturn also about to go retrograde in July. So there's a lot of kind of focus on thinking about the structures in our lives which Saturn rules, and our karmic cycles and time and patterns or loops we might have been stuck in. Slow your heart, move gently into the coming of the self. So we could also be structuring new things for our new Uranus is entering Gemini soon, Pluto just entered Aquarius. A lot of big shifts in June, specifically July, and more importantly, these are just the beginning. That will retrograde and then fully go forward in next spring, so in 2026. So we're preparing for new huge cycles as well at this time. So yeah, there's something about reflecting, maybe to going within as well. There could also be something about expanding your understanding of relationships, contracts in a general sense, other people, and also how to attract abundance, or contracts as well. This could be in work, or something about reciprocity, your health, and how that impacts or is related to your relationship. We have your higher self chose this card because fall is a natural time of adopting a slower pace. The harvest moon is generally the full moon that occurs closest to the autumn equinox and is associated with balance, realignment, and reflection. At that time, the air gets a familiar crispness. Usually days when we have Capricorn moon. Right now, the moon's in Libra as I'm filming this, but the next full moon will be in Capricorn. And usually, anytime we have, regardless of which, if it's a full moon or whatever in Capricorn, if the moon's in Capricorn, the weather will get colder usually. At least that's what I've noticed for myself. And that makes sense because Capricorn is associated with winter and the color black, or storms, the storm gods, right? So the days are noticeably shorter and animals begin to find warmer places to shelter, and no one could blame you for seeking out comfort foods or warm drinks. Slowing down naturally leads to a desire for more self-support, making the harvest moon one of the best moon energies for focusing on spiritual nourishment and well-being. Your soul is guiding you through this card to shine a light on self-care. Prioritizing rest and relaxation is worthy, but making space for all forms of self-care is necessary. Today, you might need to give yourself some grace when a deadline has come and gone and you're still no closer to achieving what you wanted, especially with this retrograde energy. It's like June, we kind of got a touch of what's starting, but it's not going to culminate anytime soon, and it's not going to even begin really in June. We're just beginning it, the idea of it really, and then the planet Saturn and Neptune will go retrograde backwards through Aries, and that's a huge new 30-year cycle as well. But anyways, let's see. Reflect on the ways you have neglected yourself, doing so with self-compassion and self-love. There's no need to slap yourself on the wrist for forgetting to drink enough water, or those times you canceled on your friends. Make a commitment and awareness, new choice. Every new choice is a deposit in your well-being bank account. So there could be almost like a slow but steady energy, a culmination of smaller steps. You could be also finding your way, or kind of receiving that illumination in the darkness to find your way through maybe like obstacles, or how to reach your kind of pinnacle or your finishing. But let's dive deeper for this collective. I don't want to just talk this entire time. All right, collective energies, messages for the collective people watching this reading, collective energies in general. Seven of Wands, so new boundaries. We could be like fighting for something, standing our ground in the direction that we actually want to go to. I'm seeing like a corral, like animals getting corralled into a direction. So yeah, this could have been something about legal situations, contracts, relationships, Libra energy here. Could be dealing with a Libra, or something about your relationships, definitely. This could be about finance as well. Karma, good karma coming back around. Messages for the collective energies. Yeah, there could have been like a lack of like stability in the past financially, or in your long-term goals or desires. Maybe you didn't really have anything structured in place. I feel like you could be getting more clear on what you actually want to structure, especially with the Capricorn full moon approaching us next week. Anything else for the collective? like maybe making a plan or something. Yeah, you're beginning to come out of confusion or see something more clearly, or evaluate your options and narrow down what you actually desire or want. This could be regarding like connections with people, what to reject, what not to reject, what to go for. You could be releasing a lot of burdens with the Ten of Wands here, ending a lot of cycles and ending a lot of anxiety as you do this as well. So that's awesome. Collective energies. Ace of Swords. There could be newfound clarity or new communication or ability to discern, especially regarding your like confidence, Queen of Wands energy, or your empowerment to like attract everything you desire with your passions, with your enlightenment. Beautiful energy, interesting energy. A lot of strong feminine energy as well. Anything else for the collective? Yeah, you're ending something that was just not working. It wasn't helpful. It was very unstable. It was like you being unstable. You could be stepping into a new position of authority in the future, or maybe just adopting those character traits as well. Becoming more mature, changing your belief system, becoming an authority of some sort. And this is allowing you to actually move beyond any kind of fears or any kind of repetitive cycles or loops, or controlling people, or like deceptive people, or like slave owner type people. Yeah, this could have been like an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Anything else for, I almost want to say Capricorn, collective, messages for collective. I feel like there's going to be choices that are coming up for you in divine timing as well. Options. I heard to amend and approve, so I don't know what that means. To amend and approve. Interesting. So maybe you're like narrowing things down. Yeah, this is regarding work. There's some kind of clarity or like leadership, or maybe a masculine or a Leo energy, where there's happiness returning to your work, to your ability to like build financially. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. Very interesting energy for the collective. Yeah, death on the bottom, huge transformations, huge death and rebirth energy. The death of Seven of Swords on the bottom of the deck, something that was very deceptive to you, something that could have been happening outside of your awareness, something that caused pain, could have forced you to take some time out to recuperate, to recover. But I feel like you're shedding the veil, and this is allowing, and shedding your ego, which allows you to see with more clarity on the direction you need to travel. You can see how the clouds are kind of parted behind them. So there is some kind of clearing of the storm. It's like you've already, just by doing this change, you're already ahead of the game, is what I want to say. So let's see if there's any last messages for the collective energies. There could also be something about your power, like empowerment or taking back your power. Anything else for the collective? Okay, we have be careful of decisions made on temporary emotions. So you could be closing something out that wasn't stable, or like financially monetizable, or like, I don't know, just wasn't good. Stay in your masculine energy, interesting. But I think you're also like coming into your feminine energy by erecting masculine energy with boundaries, so that you can actually become more feminine and receptive in other ways. You're not pregnant, so that could be a blessing for you. You are taking off in the best way. Beautiful. So they're very proud of you. There's a heart on that card. A lot of love for you. Take the L and move on. Just decide, cut it off, end it, whatever. So secretly respects you. Somebody could secretly respect you, especially if you're like more stable financially, or you have more control of your life, or you're not being intimidated or threatened. Samantha Jones, Sex and the City. So you could be kind of very independent. A hit dog will holler. So this person could have a big mouth, and you might need to know that. This could be a Leo, maybe, or an air sign. Course correct along the way. So maybe you didn't know any better. Now you do. Wants to own your stuff as theirs and get them out of your energy. We also have don't be so available, or don't be available. Cut them off. Okay, interesting. And we have their intentions was to mess with your energy or your emotions. I heard emotions. Your enemies are closer than you think, and Barbados or Barbatos could be a demon or spirit associated with this reading as well. Collective energies. Yeah, and especially with the death energy. This is like beheading something that could have been in your way, obstacles that were like in the way of your path. And after you do this is the only way you'll get to that clearing. You have to take the action to kind of close something out, maybe. So interesting energy. What is this? Someone else. So maybe there's something about someone else coming into your life. Your enemies are closer than you think. Anything else that came out? Doesn't listens to jazz here in the past, or maybe somebody in the past who used to have like listen to jazz. Could be somebody you closed something out with. Maybe that's just confirmation. But I think you're really secretly respected, especially if you're coming into more power. Any extra messages for the collective before we close it out? Oh, okay. Be careful of loyalties. They gonna ruin your career. Be careful of your loyalty. So be careful of who you allow in your sacred sanctum, who you're associating with, right? That can impact your career, right? You can even see that with like Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis associating with that other actor from the 70s show who got caught up in a court situation. They are a trickster, and they want you to be one too. Exactly. You need to be careful. These could be people involved in like secret societies, trafficking, whatever. Good things come to those who create. So maybe you're in the stage of creating. Very interesting energy. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thanks for being here. Please hit like, subscribe. You can get a personal using the Buy Me a Coffee link, or leave a tip through there. Best of luck. Take care.